Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Though there's probably like nobody there because I only advertised 5 seconds ago. I'm gonna be showcasing, should probably change the name of the stream to what I'm showcasing, shouldn't I? That would be the smart thing to do. Found a new paint program I want to try out because I'm not really feeling like the gaming thing. Well, it didn't save with my title anyways. So you're gonna see some bad art from me because of course. Cannot update stream information, why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Guess it did update. Oh well. Thanks for lying to me, stream. Anyways. Thanks for the host, Surat. Or the auto host. It doesn't say which. Anyway. I've been looking for a program to replace GIMP for a number of reasons. First of all, it's the fact that GIMP, it has this layer boundary thing. Oh, you can't see the window on top. That's nice. It's not nice. Let me see if I can capture it. It looks like that. Boop, 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 boop. No wait. Boop. Like, I really hate using GIMP, but I have an old ass version of Photoshop. And I have an even older ass version of Photoshop. I have Photoshop CS2, which was popular back when I was going to college, and then I have Photoshop 5.5, which has kind of been my, it boots up quickly, it kind of does what I need it to do, so I've been kind of looking to replace them. I used GIMP for a while, for like up until now, and it's just been kind of, it's just, it's an art program created by programmers for programmers, which means it has like this weird layer boundary thing going on that like you have to expand the layer boundary or else like you see the size of the window there, it'll just be that size that you can work with, which it's like I've never seen that in any other paint program. You have to export everything, which I do believe is in Photoshop, but it was a change from the way GIMP used to work, which was just save as and just save it. What other things did I hate? Transparency, always had to go to, layer, add transparency layer to every fucking thing. Did not like that. So I found Krita. I found Krita because someone actually mentioned that GIMP updated to 2.9, and I was like, hey, I see GIMP updated. What did they change? Did they change this, this, and this? And they were like, yeah, no, I had to patch it out. So I was like, oh, let me try this Krita thing, which is another free open source program, which is on Steam, but the version on Steam is, I think, the Gemini version, which is kind of their, we give you money to help out the project donator version. So, otherwise I think you have to compile it yourself. I'm not sure the difference between this one and that one. I think the other one is just like the donator version, really. But I tried Krita out, and things that I don't like that I found is that it doesn't handle Photoshop brushes the way that you want them to handle it. You can import brushes, but for this you have to make presets for every brush you import. So if you have 100 Photoshop brushes, you have to reset the presets for all 100 brushes and make them oh, I have to create new. Well, let me show you create new. The way this works is that it will create a background for your project, but if you go to content and set the image background opacity to 0, layers, I only need one. Boop. I didn't even know you could start with multiple layers. Then it'll just give you a transparent background to start with. This option is saved. So as long as you set that option to begin with, you're good to go from here on out. You can also, as you can see, create from clipboard, animation template. This does do animations. I think you still need to export to create a GIF from it, but it will handle animations. And it's got a couple things here that I haven't messed with at all. I'll just do 16 by 1200 because why not? As I said, I'm just going to be futzing around in here. And you can see a transparent background. But talking about the presets, is I have a brush here. You can see this little circle brush that I had to... Can you see it? No, wait, you can't see it. Boop. Wow, it's not showing the thing. Is this showing the thing? Are you showing the thing? It's not showing the thing either. Well, this might just be a bad program for a creative stream. So you just have to take my word for it that, you have to import each brush basically one at a time and have your settings somewhere and copy them over. GIMP brushes, however, they seem to import just fine. So I can't even see my workspace. Joy. You can't see a thing I'm doing. Wheel! Hang on a minute here. Oh, now you want to work. Alright, now you can see the little thing here. Well, you can't see my cursor. Pro streams, everybody. Cursor? Cursor? Well, you can see it over here, the little circle thing. I did say cursor, didn't I? I did say it, didn't I? Capture cursor. Yep, I did. Alright, just imagine the cursor's there. Just go to imagination land, and imagine the cursor's there. Imagine it's pointing to this little circle on the white off into the, this area. Anyway, you have to import all your Photoshop brushes one at a flipping time. And then you go to this one and find out which one of these you're not showing it now anymore. God damn. Krita, what are you doing? Krita, maybe not the best thing for a creative stream. Unless you're doing a window capture. Good enough. There you can see my cursor, that's what I'm talking about. And can I get this? There we go. Now you can see it. I need display capture for OBS. So this is where you would set your presets in here. And then magic. I think this is brought up with F5. And then you can use this little scratch pad over here. To do stuff. And I say it imported all my GIMP brushes, but I think I have to do the same damn thing with it. Anyway, where's a pencil? Other things I've found that are pretty cool are for my tablet, it's sometimes have to reset the things to make it work right. Sometimes. Hang on, it's offset. God, everything's just going wrong, isn't it? Yeah, I have a UG tablet. Only because it was cheaper than, like... It works here. Okay, supports digital ink will break that. By the way, if your tablet doesn't work for some of these programs, like supports digital ink, supports Windows ink, you just unclick that and it should work. Monitor setting. Also, you can use a mouse. But why would you want to do that? Let me restart the program because, of course, you can just stare at my background. I had this working before. I did scribble around with it and everything worked fine, but like it closed the program and then, you know, it just goes to shit. Alright, it should be... That should be the right one, it's the top one. See? Now it works. Now it works just fine. Now I just need to find the right one. Today I'm probably gonna just be drawing my usual little Moline figure. Is there a pencil? There we go. Pencil. Yay. Blue line pencil here. does have a smaller head than the body. Kind of have a short little stubby tail coming around. Like, for the most part, mole limes just are mold slimes, and their bodies are just kind of a slime based kind of thing. And they eat moss from like the sides of the dungeon or the grand maze, which is where they live. They can live above the surface too, but they'll mostly just eat any kind of lichen or moss. You know what? Let me give it a little bit of profile. I wanted to say this thing supports tilt, because when I messed around with it at the beginning, I could make it tilt. And I think I turned that off somewhere? I just can't remember where. If you're wondering what this is right up here, that is the turn pin on and off. I haven't done much things in profile or like the quarter shot. That's what I'm looking for, quarter shot. In like a long ass time. I'm trying to remember what my original mole limes used to look like. Now if you're gonna draw a mole lime yourself, it's one of those like, I'm an expert at drawing, I don't know, Pokemon or something. That's what you want to look out for when you draw them. If you're drawing mole limes, it's more or less their cute factor you want to focus on. They're small, they're cute, people mostly keep them as pets. They're harmless. They're mostly harmless. I mean, if you're trying to like farm up some moss, they could probably devastate your crops, but oh, another thing over here, layer styles. GIMP, as far as I know, as far as I've been searching around, does not have layer styles. I took one of my projects for my thumbnails for my El Menage videos, shoved it here into Krita. I had to delete 5 or 6 layers worth of work. However, I got the effect down out of 2 layers and a mask. If I was in GIMP, I'd have to use like 5 layers, and it still didn't even look really all that good. So we have all of the Photoshop good ones: drop shadow, inner shadow, outer glow, bevel, emboss, contour, texture, satin, color overlay, gradient, pattern overlay, and you can actually have like a bunch of these on at once. Like for my El Menage thumbnails, I have the little numbers with stroke and bevel on. But yeah, layer effects. Another thing that I kind of don't like is for layers, you see this, well, you can't really see this list, it's underneath the chat, but you don't just have like multiply, divide, subtract, addition, overlay, and all that. You have like HSI stuff, HSL, hue, saturation, and light. You can just futz with that. If you're looking for normal, it's under mix. For some reason. Yeah, and it's also got like a bunch of these in here that, if I knew how to use them for the forces of evil, I could do some awesome stuff, but I have like no flippin' idea what they do. Like, Arcus Tangent. The fuck does that do? I don't know what it does. But it's there. Go for it. So, yeah, that's another thing that GIMP doesn't have, is like that wide variety of just things you can throw at it. I also forgot to show some of the other things that I like about it. Workspace, you can have, as you can see, different workspace here, like big vector. This thing does vector with pens and stuff, which I think GIMP does, but it's kind of like, that's just me banging up against my thing. Visual Effects Paint, if you're into Visual Effects Paint, I don't even know like what the hell this stuff is, other than, yeah, Visual Effects Paint. I don't know anything about that. I might have seen somebody do it before, but animation. You can see here's your timeline right down here. So it will do animation, complete with onion skins and all that. But you can also create your own workspace, like I created mine, which this layout's kind of like a GIMP layout. I'm trying to remember where that tilt function is. It does have themes in here. Show brush outline, tilt outline. It does have high DPI support. I don't have a high DPI monitor, so touch pane, is that what I want? Anyway, let's flesh out our little mole-lime. As you can tell, I haven't drawn in a long ass while. And mole-limes kind of have like this little S kind of shape to them. Yeah, kind of like cute little slug snake things, so. Let's say there's too much here. Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot to show off is this. You can have your colors right here. If you press this little button down here, boom, pile of tools. Probably where I want to be. Actually, you know what? That's not what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I haven't actually set up any of my hotkeys yet, so. So, I would say if you have a UG tablet, it works. You might have to finagle it like I did. You can rotate the canvas. I just forget what buttons I have to mash to rotate the canvas. It's not control. Space is pen. Was it control shift? Space? No. So this does have canvas rotate. I'm just not using it because I don't know where it is. You can reset the hotkeys for it. I know. I just didn't, because I didn't know what hotkeys were already set to what, so I didn't want to just start futzing around and you have like 5 keys set to the same thing. And it's like, you press a key and then, you know, your whole thing explodes. Alright. Let me try ink. I just want to, like, screw with ink. Switches layers. Haven't figured out which buttons zoom in and out. Let me go back to sketch. So the other eye would be over here. This side is kind of like right here. Hmm. That rotated the whole layer. Let's crop. And that's what I wanted. Alright, now to try ink out. As you can see, this also has multi-brush. if you needed multi-brush for anything. Actually, wait a minute. I wanted to do a thing. Yeah, you can see these are all my brushes that I imported. Yes, including the GIMP green pepper. I want to say that's what I want. Or not. No, I think I needed the other one. Actually closed or actually no, they're not closed. This does have a line smoother. Can also have a default author profile too. Ha! Where was that? Where was that? Stabilizer, there we go. I don't actually know what these exact thing for the stabilizers are, but they're there if you want them. Haha, a smudger thing. Cool. So one thing I do like paint tool side though over the rest that I've seen. Yeah. I was gonna add a mask, but oh well. Pressure sensitivity is a little bit off, way off. I'm not sure if I need to set that in my tablet or... But there's something in here I need to set. I think I might actually keep it a little translucent. Because, I mean, it is kind of like a slime creature thing, so you can see through some of them. Squeaky sound is my pen nib on the screen, or I should say the screen protector. I do like that it is blending in with the transparency. It does acknowledge the transparency's there, and it's not trying to blend it in with like white. Some of these will blend it in with white if there's transparency. The eyes. Let me look up something quick. I have seen some of these rotate before. Eyes are usually opaque. Pan canvas, rotate canvas. You can see it kind of rotate right there a little bit. Hmm. My beautiful little Molan. You know what? Well, that could be good for the head. Add some texture in here. Even though I'm probably just going to smooth it out later. is one thing I don't like about using Krita and some of these paint programs. They give me too many damn options. I mean, I usually use my 3DS for most of my artwork, and it's like, you have these options, so I don't have a lot of choices, so I make, you know, make do with what I have. But here it's like, you have any freaking tool you want, any of them. Colors, you have all the colors. I mean, in my 3DS I have all the colors too, but it's like... Here I can spend like hours doing this and just filling in the color slowly, little bit by little bit. There, you could drawing angle, that's what I wanted. There you go. Now you can see it spinning around. Exactly the shape I want there. Of course, being slimes, they're shiny. I'm probably satisfied with that. Just a quick, simple little sketch. Now, for the head fuzz. What was that brush I was tooling around with? This one? Yeah, that looks like it. Oh, that's spiky. I see a blackjack. Hey Sarah, welcome to the stream. Charmander has a new Alolan form? I didn't know that. Or is this on like the super new, what was it, the Mega Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon? Or are you just commenting on my Molime? It kinda does. I mean, it's got the orange color. I'm just futzing around in this new paint program I found called Krita. Or Krita. I'm not even sure how you're supposed to pronounce it. Which I think it's replaced GIMP completely as a paint program. Like here you can see these are all the colors I've used in the past, right at my like brush tip. Yeah, I think that's a bit good enough. I heard about that. I haven't even tried Destiny 1. Was that the one that was like, everyone was super excited about it, but when they started playing it, it was kind of like, was full of bugs, and then once you got to a certain point in the game, it was like the same thing over and over again. I remember one of the fancy games was like that. Yeah, I'm just not into those shoot mans games. I am not good at the shoot mans. Yeah, I heard a lot about Ark. I'm surprised it actually went into a released state, because a lot of people thought it started off and then it had a Kickstarter and then it kind of died, and then somebody got it and then tried to revive it and then it died again, and then there was some kind of skeezy things going on with Ark, and I guess somebody decided to finally make it a viable game at some point. Maybe I'm thinking of some other game that was like with dinosaurs, because there's like a pile of games out there with dinosaurs. And now the thing with Ark is that they're charging $60 for the game, but from the people who play Ark, they're like, ah ha ha ha, no, because it's not really in even a releasable state at this point. Yeah, yeah. Like, it was in early access for a long while, and then I guess they just now released it on, like, fully released it, and it's still kind of in a beta stage to where it has tons and tons of bugs. Like, Ray plays it. And from what I've seen, yeah, it wasn't really in a releasable state. Still a fun game, but not for public consumption yet. Still needs some work on it. I have been looking for a survival game, though. We Happy Few, I haven't heard that one. mean, I just don't like the $60 price tag. Like, I'm just kind of getting tired of that being the price point for everything. Because it's like, some people are like, well, a $60 price tag that goes into like how the time it took to create the game and the blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, because your game has first day DLC, paid DLC. So don't tell me the game needs to be $60 from the paid first day DLC is like 20 and the season passes are like another 50 or 60 on top of that. I really need to change that Discord message. Ew, on disc DLC. That's even worse. That's like, no. No. Nope. Nope. That just tells me you could have released it with the game, but you just didn't. You're just trying a money grab. So. I mean, just give us all the stuff at like the start and just charge $180 or whatever you want for it. I mean, you won't really get too many people to buy it, but hey, at least you don't have on disc DLC anymore. People can't accuse you of doing that. I might be just a little jaded, just a little bit jaded. Yep. Mess with some brushes here because I found one brush that I liked. I was like, I'm gonna use that brush if I can remember which one of these it is. Knew it. Oh, this is the blood brush. Now it's a crime scene. is the we tried to clean up the crime scene brush. That's not the brush I'm looking for. No. I think it was this one, maybe? If I had my way, which I probably never will, I would just ban on-disc DLC altogether. I'd be like, you can't cheat the consumer out of stuff like that. If it's on the disc, you have to let them access it on the disc. That was interesting. But then again, like, there's a Wii game called Samba de Amigo. All the songs are on disc. Oh no, it's got a disease. Actually a nice brush to add just slight little details for like creatures and stuff. I want to say it's this brush. No, it's not that brush. Nope. 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 I think I'm getting close. Don't think it was that one. It was like a little cluster of spots, but they were dense, more dense. And it didn't look like blood splotches. I wanted to say it was this one, but it wasn't. Maybe it was. No, it wasn't that one. Ooh, cheese covered fries. I love cheese. That's the one. This is it. Do they have bacon on them? Like bacon cheese covered fries? And you shall never know the greatness of the bacon cheese covered fries. Fall into despair. Speaking of despair, I've finished another chapter in Murder Bear game. Of course, my other favorite character has to die because, of course. Game's not getting me to play like number 2 unless suddenly magically everyone's alive at the end, which I highly doubt it is. Murder Bear Game 1, Chapter 4? Like, I haven't quite completed Chapter 4 yet, but I've just gotten past the trial where Hina tried to kill all of us. Darkest point. Am I halfway through? Or am I like over halfway through? Is Murder Bear lying to me? Not that I trust Murder Bear, but So I'm like almost done. But of course the chapters last about 2 flippin' hours. So another thing I kind of hate about the game is the logic in the trial sequences. It's like they give you 3 truth bullets and 2 of them are very similar in what they could mean, and then of course I used the wrong one and they're like, ah ha ha ha, loser. And then I keep forgetting I can actually pick up truth bullets. So I'm trying to use the truth bullet they give me when it's like, no, you need to pick up a truth bullet and put it down somewhere else. Yeah, on the comic parts, the Chapter 4 comic was the only one I got right the first time, every single bit of it. Every other one, it just like, I'd suck at the whole sequential art thing. And sometimes I didn't like the fact that the people that were in the room that saw the evidence suddenly kind of forgot the evidence at, like, the trial. Like, when they're talking about the tarps and stuff, I'm like, you were there, you saw the tarps. You pointed the tarps out, and now you're like, the tarps. And I always get my logic backwards. Like, sometimes the truth bullet I pick up and use on a part is actually, I should have done it the other way around. Pick up the one I've used it on and then use it on the one I picked up. And it's like, it should just go, if you have the 2 bits going together, they should just go together and work. Honestly, at least in like the first Phoenix Wright game, I didn't get too much wrong on it. It's like the logic was kind of there. You knew what you're supposed to use, and you kind of knew at what point you're supposed to use it. And another part of the trials I don't like is that there's so many different mini-games. Do we really need the Hangman's Gambit? Why can't I just select chess piece from my inventory? Oh, joy. That's gonna confuse the hell out of me. It's like, should I lie here or should I not lie here? I guess you're using that to entrap people, but... I think I'm probably just gonna call this little guy done. I can't really think of a background yet. Ugh. Well, they say V3 is supposed to be a new start, so hopefully it won't be that difficult. Because if it is, I'm just giving up on the whole series. That could be possible. I kind of just live anywhere, so near some lava and stuff, sure, that works. It's like phosphorescent hair mold. And the one thing that I like that Krita has that GIMP refuses to give up: file, save as, where do I want to put this? PSD work, PSD stuff. Just toss it in here. I'll just name it Moline1. Ping, save, and then I can select what I need. I don't have to do the export. One thing I hate about like GIMP and Photoshop is you have to go to File and then Export, because now I can just goof around here and save it and it will save as a ping. If I did that in GIMP, it'd pop up a dialog box saying you gotta export the thing or save it as like a GIMP file, and it's like, I don't wanna. Yeah, I think I found this program like yesterday, so I think I'm just giving up on GIMP for this, because it, like, let me see if I can do it. Like, you see this little, the number here? I have an overlay, which is just the texture. The transparency mask, which is just the number. And then the text. Like 2 layers and a transparency mask just to get the effect I want. Let me see. Did I already save over it? Now, to get this kind of effect, as you can see, I have piles and piles of layers. I was actually gonna do that if she streams tonight. I was gonna say, hey, I found a thing. You can take a look at it after your Photoshop license runs out or whatever. Because you can see how many layers I have just to get this. Just that. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. Because GIMP doesn't have right click layer styles as far as I've seen. So I went from all of this mess to that. And another thing you can do with the layers, they have colors. You can colorize your layers so where you know, like, my text layer is green, that's a text layer. My overlay is brown, and my background's a light gray color. Yay! I mean, it's still, this program probably still needs a bit of work, but right out of the box, like, I've already done so much with it, so I am pleased. And like, to get that effect is a stroke and a bevel, and that's it. And it looks pretty cool. And then an overlay with a pattern on a layer. That's it. So, I think I'm going to call it a stream here because I planned on ending it around like 11. I'm probably going to actually hop over to her stream if she's streaming tonight. If not, I'll probably go play a video game or something. Clean out my backlog. But thanks for joining me for Let's watch me draw badly while trying out a new program. And I'll catch you guys, I'll catch all you viewers later. Thanks a lot for joining me, and anybody else who decided to pop in and pop out. That sounds like it's easy. Just pick the cat up, put the cat on the ground. Pick the cat up off the trash can again, put the cat back on the ground. And throw your trash away, and then pick the cat off the chair and sit down. And then pick the cat off the keyboard, or the couch, or wherever. I don't have an ending screen yet. Maybe I shall use the new program I have to make an ending screen so I can be like, thanks everybody for joining me. the stream is ending now, and here's some music to listen to while the stream ends, so I'm not cutting myself off because of stream lag. So anyway, thanks everybody for joining me. I'll try to stream maybe next Tuesday. So